did my MBA a number of years ago at Manchester Business School. Prior to doing the MBA, I'd worked in startups and in innovation consulting. And most of that experience was based in Europe, and what I wanted to do was to take that to a truly global level. So I joined the MBA program to work with over 100 different students from 33, 34 plus different countries. And the key element of that global nature was actually working on an IB project at the end of the MBA. So this was a 3 months to 4 months working full-time with a particular client, in this case a listed company, and doing something that took their business to the next level. After the MBA, I joined Cisco, and from Cisco's journey in London, working with them in Singapore and now in San Francisco, I spent a lot of time looking at incubating businesses within Cisco and incubating opportunities within Cisco across different markets.
I'm the client director of one of the largest Cisco customers globally. And one of the big challenges that we have as a sales organization is the fact that they're extremely diversified. Okay. From headquarters, they have expanded globally using a lot of mergers and acquisitions, so they're not going organically only, but also inorganically. And that presents a big challenge to us because resources are limited. And of course, the importance of developing partnerships with them across the different countries, it's a very taxing situation. So the fact that we needed to approach them, prioritize them, and try to manage the relationship with them at a global level was key for us. So that was the inception of this project.
And so when you engaged the IB team, what was the outcome, the deliverable you were expecting from them?
As part of our goals, of course, is to grow our top line. So we wanted to find new business opportunities. We needed to prioritize. We needed to make sure that we focused on the opportunity and the businesses that were going to yield the greater benefit for Cisco. But that requires a lot of resources. That requires a lot of time. And this is where this project that we called Project 360 was really going to be key for us moving forward. I think the introduction of the Manchester Business School and the program that they have was absolutely perfect for us. The process that we followed to present the problem statement to the students, to the different group of students, and the analysis and the proposals that we received was a very, very interesting process. The quality of the work that we received from 3 different groups was really, really good, and it really took a while for us to, as you remember, making a decision in terms of who are we picking. It was actually one of those moments where you really need to make sure that you were picking the right group. And if you remember, one of the things we did is we looked at the backgrounds, we looked at the different perspectives, people that were not really in tech specifically, that would provide an external perspective into the problem.
Yeah, and I think that external perspective was very, very important because that gave us something that wasn't necessarily looking at things in the same way that we all do at Cisco.
Exactly.
But was looking at it from a perspective that said, let's take the data, let's take the information that we're finding, and let's put that together into what is the decision that we've got to make, or where are we going to take that forward.
In a sales organization, what you're looking to do is to grow your business. But at the same time, we didn't want just to focus on growing our business, but we wanted to focus as well on growing the business of our client.
Okay.
So that was the key aspect of what we were looking at. And one of the key areas where the MBA students were fabulous on presenting to us was the methodology that we used to attack the problem.
Okay.
So we followed 3 steps, and those 3 steps were doing desktop research to analyze what the problem was and really understanding where the priorities needed to be, then approaching the clients and say, okay, so this is how we have done this in headquarters, within your company, and how we can approach this with you. Are you interested in following this journey, this Project 360 journey with us? And if they would say yes to that, then we will follow a third step that would be having a local workshop in the country of where that subsidiary was, and having a conversation around what are the targets that we're looking at, and of course the long-term plan, including an investment plan that will have both companies investing in this project. As we went through the project, and you and I know this really well, right? So we created and developed a relationship with a student that was really more than just a student-client relationship. It was awesome. It was truly part of the team, right? They were really part of the team, and one of the things we decided was we want them to present to the executives, right? When we traveled to Tokyo, and we put the challenge out there to them and said, you guys are going to be presenting to these executives. We're going to make the introductions, we're going to have the meetings, and we're going to be there, and you guys are going to present the outcome of this project. I think that created a bit of a challenge to them. I think they were a bit nervous. They didn't know what to expect, and created that dynamic that really moved them into they pushed themselves into a different level, I think. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but I thought that was really good to see.
And there was one point where we were in our clients' offices, and you're on the gazillionth floor in Tokyo, where you're sat around a boardroom with a number of very, very senior people from our client. And here we have MBS students standing and presenting what they've learned, and also actually what we've learned, and what is our investment that we're going to do together for going forward, and what is the outcome that we're going to achieve. And I remember there was a couple of really interesting quotes from our client in those points, which was one where they said, I don't know if you remember this, they said, actually, thank you very much for your presentation. You've taught me something about my company that I actually didn't know before.
Yeah, that was so powerful.
So pleasing, so pleasing. It's such a proud moment that we were presenting this unified team.
And they were actually learning something, from that perspective that they didn't know. So that means that really the work that the students did was absolutely fantastic.
It's about 10 years ago now that I did my MBA at Manchester Business School, and the International Business Project was a fantastic experience working with a stock company listed organization in the chemical industry, traveling around the world and making an impact at a board level. That was the incredible output from a student point of view. And when we talked through the problem statement that we were trying to solve for here, it became really obvious to me that bringing in a team of pretty smart people, having them work full-time for 3 months with us, bringing an external perspective and bringing data and intelligence and asking questions that we might not have considered ourselves was an ideal scenario for us to be able to rapidly move forward with where we wanted to go.